All right. Hello, everybody. I hope you all had a really good Thanksgiving break. Just to start off, yes, I had to shave a lot of my facial hair for the surgery because they put those masks on you and the doctors wanted me to shave. I'm hoping it will grow back by the time I get back to school. Uh, I'm doing okay. I'm just very tired on all the painkillers right now. But I still wanted to make sure that you guys were prepared for everything that's happening. As you know, we're having our final in like a week and a half, and I want to make sure we go everything. But before we do that, I wanted to, because I got a lot of you guys asking me what's going on, where are you hurt, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to kind of explain a little bit of what the surgery was, that I'm okay, and that everyone can kind of relax a little bit. So, a long time ago, not that long ago actually, I ended up getting in a motorcycle accident. And I've talked about this before. And in this motorcycle accident, I hurt what's called a disc in my spine. So in your spine, there are pieces, these white pieces right here, that go in between the two spine, the bone, right? You can see on these other pictures, there's like these bluish pads. Well, when I got in my motorcycle accident, unfortunately, one of the pads in my spine blew up. So they had to put in this fake kind, and it's a metal implant that looks right here. I don't know if you can see, but it's basically just a fake piece of metal that goes into my spine. Here, let me move my picture so you can see a little bit. There you go. It's a fake piece of metal that's in there. And that was before I became a teacher. This was years ago. Now, unfortunately, your teacher uh, is a big fan of food, and he did not do the one thing he was supposed to do, which was to keep himself at a lower weight, keep him healthy. So I had to get stomach surgery because not because of the way I looked, but because the weight was not good for the disc. If there was too much weight on the disc, it could break, and that would be a whole other problem. So they gave me what's called a single S. I can't even say it. Single astemosis duodenal switch, which essentially is they took the stomach, and my stomach was already cut up from something else, and they just attached it later down the line of my small intestines. That way, when I eat food, I won't absorb as much of it, and in theory, it'll help me lose weight, and then the disc won't be as in danger of breaking from the weight. So that's where I've been. That's why you've been seeing me drink those shakes for 2 weeks before Thanksgiving break. Uh, and this is what I'm essentially healing from, is from them attaching the stomach to the intestines so that I can get better. All right. Hopefully, if you have any questions, you can email me. You can use my school email, and I'll answer any questions or anything about this or any of the other stuff we're going to go over. But I really wanted to make sure that you guys knew what was going on so that no one was freaking out. That I'm okay, everything's fine, I'm on my way back. I'll be there uh, on not not the this coming Monday, but a week after. Basically, the week of the finals, I'll be back, and I just wanted to clarify all that so nobody was nervous. Okay. That being said, your finals are coming up. Now, to answer the questions I know I'm going to hear from here, number one, yes, your finals are being graded. They are worth, it's going to be worth 200 points. It's going to be 20 questions instead of 10 questions. There will be no extra credit for the finals because there'll be no time for it. It's finals and then that's the end of the year. There'll be no extra credit for the finals. Yes, I will be giving you a study guide like the other like the other tests. No, there will be no notes. I can't think of any other questions you guys might have. If you have other questions, you can email me. But that's the basics of it. And all these videos are going to be going over the different types of questions they're going to be on the final. So to start, we're going to go over test number one because I'm going to be pulling questions from the previous tests to make the final. Now, it's not going to be like before where I'm copy and pasting these questions. I'm going to make new questions, but it will be like the study guide, which I'm going to try and get to you by Friday. So the questions I wanted to go over were these kinds of questions right here, right? Where basically we had to solve for x or isolate for x. We've talked about this a lot in class, and we've gone over it a lot in class. And the whole idea is that we want to get the x to equal something, like whatever it is. We want the x by itself. We do not want like 2x or whatever, right? We want the x to equal something else. In other words, we want to move the pieces of the equation around using our properties to get the x to be by itself. So let's let me erase all this. Let's do the question I was clicked on here. So it's 9. I don't have a drawing thing, I'm sorry. 9, 15x plus 6. And Nugget's around here somewhere, so if he walks up, I'll show you guys. Equals -11 plus 5x. Okay. So, the first question you should be asking yourself with these kinds of questions is, what side do we want the x's to be on? What side of the equal sign, this thing right here, let's see if I can change the color. There you go. What side of the equal sign do we want the x to be on? Because we want it to be by itself. So we're going to pick a side and move all the x's to one side and move everything else to the other side. So let's pick this side. And the reason I picked this side is that's the side I'm most used to. There's no other reason. You can pick either side. It doesn't make a difference. But you want to pick the side that is most comfortable for you. So with this side, okay, we have to start breaking stuff down. Now, I know I didn't draw it too good because like I'm drawing, I don't know if you can see, I'm drawing with like a mouse instead of like an actual touch screen like your iPads. But let's think about this logically for a second. We've gone over this a few times, right? What do we do if this is the side we're working on, right here? What do we do when we have something on the outside of a parentheses like that? I'm hoping the sub right now is like asking, and hopefully someone is participating. If this is second period, Brian, stop swearing, and maybe you can give us an answer. All right, so hopefully someone said distribute, okay? So we would distribute the 9 into these numbers. And what that means is we're just going to multiply them in. That's all we're doing. We're going to take this number and multiply it by 9, and take this number and multiply it by 9. So it's going to be 9 times 15, which is, here. I'm on painkillers, so my brain isn't working as good as it used to, or as good as it usually does. You guys probably already have it, but I don't. Sorry. 9 times 15, 135. So it's going to be 135x. You can't forget the x, because it's still there. Plus 9 times 6. Which is what? Angel? I'm going to pretend Angel said 54. And we can even double check it. There you go. All right. Equals -11 plus 5x. Okay. So we've broken this down. We've taken the equation and we've broken it down into a simpler form. Now we can just start moving things around. Okay? So we decided, is there a highlighter button? We decided that this side is going to be the side that the x's are going to be on. So let's look at this. We have this x right here, and we have this, which is not an x. But is there another x that we can move to this side? Yeah, this one right here, the 5x. And I hope you get this. The way you move stuff is you do the opposite. That's the part you have to remember. You do the opposite. So if it's plus 5x, the opposite of plus 5 is minus 5x. Minus 5x. There you go. So plus 5 minus 5, that would go away. And then it would be 135x minus 5x. Well, 135 minus 5 is 130x plus 54 equals negative 11. All right, we're almost there. Now, we've moved all the x's to one side, the side we wanted, the yellow side, right? But we have to figure out a way to get everything else to the other side. The x has to be by itself on this side, and everything else has to be on this side. So we're going to use the same thing we did before. We do the opposite. So let's move the 54 just to start, because it's there. If it's plus 54, okay, how could we move that to the other side? Well, what's the opposite of up? Down. What's the opposite of left? Right. What's the opposite of plus? Minus. So minus 54 minus 54. These would go away. And now I've got 130x equals negative 65. And you'll have calculators. So if you get like negative 11 minus 54, you should be okay. There's nothing to worry about. All right, now the question is, what do we do now? The x isn't by itself yet, but there really isn't anything else to move. Well, not exactly. If we... Can I zoom in here? Hold on. No zoom? Okay. So if we look here, right now it's 130 times x. When there's nothing there, right, when it's just a number and a letter like 20x or whatever, right, that means they're multiplying to each other. So it's 130 times x. And remember, the way we move things is by doing the opposite. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division, right? So we divide by 130, divide by 130, and you're going to end up with x equals negative 1/2. And that'll be your answer. So this is the kind of stuff we're going to be going over, okay? And here's what I want you guys to do for today. I'm going to put on Google Classroom a worksheet with some of these problems on them, and I want, or a practice set rather, with some of these problems on them, and I want you guys to practice them. To answer the questions I know you're about to be asking. No, it's not going to be graded. Yes, these questions will be on the test. Yes, it's important to do. Okay? I can't sit there and physically teach you guys. So this is the best thing I can do for you is to give these practice tests and trust that you actually do them. Okay? Other than that, I really hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I really hope you guys listened. I'm going to put this video on Google Classroom as well if you want to go back and see the recording and everything I'm doing so that everyone can watch it on their own time. I don't have my pig with me, but come here. I can show you. Come here. I do have one of my dogs. Her name is Pepper. She's very old, but she's a good girl. And she also wants you to do well on the final. Pepper believes in you. All right. So please start working on the worksheet, or the practice set rather, and email me with any questions. I'm going to be up all class time. I'm just going to be at my house. So if you email me, I'll email you back really quick. All right. Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.